Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Good evening, everybody. You are welcome to today's section of 2 week multi-skill digital space 1.1. You're welcome. Take a seat, please. I hope you are set for today's class. I think people are here to join. So I'll just give 2 minutes, 2 minutes for everyone to join. I'll just give 2 minutes. And if you know you are currently connected and you can see me live, please type on the comment section, I am ready to get value. Let me see it coming. Let me see it coming. I am ready to get value. Let's see it coming. I don't know why I'm so excited, but I think I have an idea. But let's see the comment coming. I am ready to get value. Please type it there. If you know you are ready for this class, please type on the comment section, I am ready to get value. I am ready to get value. We don't want to waste too much time, so I said I'm going to give 2 minutes, but let me extend it to 5 minutes to let people in. So wherever you are right now, trust me, if you are not in this place, you are in the wrong place. So please join us right now and let's start. Join us right now. So if you're on the WhatsApp group, if you're here and the network here is not okay for you, is not friendly with you, I'm about to share our link to join us on YouTube. So if here is not friendly for you, you can join us on YouTube. So let me go ahead and share. Let me go ahead and share that of Facebook to the group so that everyone can connect. If you're just joining us, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Please make yourself comfortable because today is going to be exceptional. Today is going to be rich and filled with so much content. I don't want you to miss this. Trust me. Please don't miss this. Please don't miss this. Try as much as possible to be um, in a place where your network is favorable for you so that you can get the best. It's almost time. Welcome, welcome. Someone just said hello. You're welcome. I still can't see your name. Can you tell us your name? Who are we chatting with here? Is this Oyewa? We have 4 seconds more. and it's time. So I gave 5 minutes for everyone to join us. So I don't see any reason why we should not start. So I think we should start now. So I am so happy to announce to you that our facilitator is here. Our facilitator is here. Our facilitator is live here with us, and she's so excited to have this live with us. Yes, all the way from UK. You guys, you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. So I want to add her right now. I want to add her. It's a privilege to have you, Mrs. Precious. So I'll just add her. Welcome, Mrs. Precious. You look so beautiful.
Thank you. You too. You too.
Welcome, welcome. So we are so happy to have you for our graphic design class using Adobe Photoshop. So it's a privilege, and without wasting much of your time or anyone else's time here, we'll go straight to the point. So up to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Hello, everyone. My name is Precious Ogenovo, as she has said. And well, I'll be taking you guys on graphic design, mostly Adobe Photoshop. So for this class, it's going to be a 3 days class. Let's say 4 days, but 3 days of interactions and teachings and everything. But it's mostly going to be more of a practical class. So on this note, I would like to know how many people have actually done installed the application on their systems, because I am not taking, I'm sorry, but I'm not taking Adobe Photoshop on the phone. It's on the laptop. I'm demonstrating everything I'm doing. I'm demonstrating with my laptop today. Okay. So if you have installed the system on the application on your system, then it will be easy for us to flow, and you just flow along. Okay? Are we all right with that? So I guess we'll just kick off now. So today we'll do a little bit of theory work before we go into the practical section, and we'll get some things to play around with just for today. Then tomorrow we continue from that. Then after tomorrow, then on the 6th, we'll round up. So I'm going to be I'll share my slide now, and I'll see how we'll start now. Switch. So hello everyone, officially hello and welcome to Introduction to Graphic Design / Adobe Photoshop. So for this slide, for this class, we're going to be discussing what is graphic design, the elements of design. We're going to be talking about branding. We'll talk about fundamentals of Photoshop. We're going to do that today. Then tomorrow, we're going to be talking about more about fundamentals of Photoshop, and we'll discuss your assignments and projects I'll need you to do, because that's how you start building your portfolio and everything. So on day three, I believe on day three is when we'll be talking about the freelancing, building your portfolio, seeking out inspiration, resources, and all that. So at the end of the class, probably the last day of the class, I'm going to drop a more comprehensive PDF that you can read and get more understanding on what is graphic design. Because for the purpose of this class, I want to try and teach you as much as possible how to use, I want to teach you everything you need to know about Photoshop to get you started. That's my major concern. But okay, so going into it now, what is graphic design? So simply put, simply in the simplest of ways, you can say graphic design is all about visual communication and presentation. That's it. Passing information. That's it. How you can use pictures, images, colors, text, fonts to make up a picture to pass information across. Okay, and usually This it is an act, and it is an art and practice of planning and projecting ideas and experiences with visual and textual context. That's just basically what I'm talking about. So that is graphic design. There's no much story to that. So moving on to elements of design. Um, yeah. So moving on to the elements of design. Now, when we're talking about graphic design, you are well aware that there are different things you need to consider before you can say, okay, this is my picture, or this is my well, this class focuses mainly not on photography, not on any other thing, just mostly on branding. So anything I'm talking about, just think about flyers, think about logos, think about banner, okay? Because that's mostly what we're going to be trying to create or recreate here. So when you're talking about elements of design, what are the things that make up your design? This includes, there are lots of things like lines, you know, colors, images, fonts or texts, and oh, hello, Michael. Hello, hello, hello. Installed on phone, laptop is upcoming. I don't know what you mean by upcoming, but well, we'll see. If you mean you are trying to get it to work on your laptop, I would suggest you try and do it today or tomorrow. Or if you don't have the laptop, then fine, because this video is always available to everyone. You can always go back to watch it and pick some things and learn some things and practice on your own. So it's fine. So sorry for that interruption. Moving on. So we're talking about the elements of design, yeah. So a design consists of, as I said earlier, lines, images, text, colors, and then when you look at a design, we have something called hierarchy. What is on the screen now? Elements of design basically are these five. But in some materials or in some textbooks, you see some people say 10, some people say 12. But basically, the main idea is within these five. So when we talk about hierarchy, what is hierarchy? Hierarchy is when you open the screen, when you see the picture for the very first time, what is the first thing you see? Like, for example, now in this screen, what is the first thing you see? The thing that is so bold is element of design. This thing that is so bold, there is elements of design. That's the first thing. So that means that's the number one thing that's the main focus of this page. Okay, then every other thing is just more details, more information. Okay, so when you are creating a design, you want to make sure that the main point of that design is not lost. So it should be bold, it should be big enough to see, okay, this is the main point. Even a layman should be able to look at that, at looking at the first glance, should be able to know what is this flyer talking about, what is this banner talking about. Okay, that's hierarchy. So the ability for you to arrange your information on the page according to importance is hierarchy. I'm not going to dwell too much on theory, as I said earlier. So I'm just going to go through this. But the material I'm going to drop alongside other resources for you is going to give you more information about this. So other than hierarchy, we'll talk about contrast. Contrast in a page is what differentiates this from this. Why is the image not looking like the background? I don't know if you understand. Why is the image not looking like background? Why is it not blend? Like, what makes it stand out from the background? Okay. Contrast is, for example, if you have a white, like, for example, now my background, if you see this whole page now, my background is white, but my text is black. So I can see there's clear contrast between my text and my background. And if there were to be an image in this picture now, if there should be an image in this page now, you will see a clear contrast because the image will probably, let's say, if the image was red, for example, you see that it will stand out in this background because this is a white background, red on white. Anything on white can actually stand out. But there are kind of shades that if you put on this plain white, it will not really pop. It will not really come out. Somebody cannot easily see it. So when you're designing, you want to make sure that there's clear contrast between your background and the images you're trying to display, or the text you're trying to your information has to be clear. So that's all about contrast actually. So number three element of design is repetition. What is repetition? Repetition is all about using being consistent. Yes, I can call this consistency. Okay, like for example now, when you have a flyer and you use almost all the old fonts you find on Google to design just one flyer, or you use almost all the old color because you have a large color palette. You use all the old colors in the color palette because you want to design one flyer. You're not consistent. When you use repetition in a design, you will see how minimalistic and how beautiful it can come out to be. Is why you use repetition. Okay, so when you are using, for example now, if I'm designing a flyer, even if I decide to use two different fonts for the whole flyer, you can use, there are variations of fonts. Well, we'll go into all of that, but not right now. So just know that when you're designing a flyer, try to be consistent with the elements. Try to be consistent with the elements of try to be consistent with what you are using for your design. Like if you're using a font, if you're using a color, just try to keep to it and try to distribute it around the flyer. And you see how minimalistic and how beautiful to come out to be. So that's repetition. Then alignment. Alignment is arranging things the way you arrange things on the flyer. You don't just throw things anyhow. There are lines to guide you. Okay, that's why we use Photoshop. That's why I like Photoshop. In fact, most apps actually have things that guide you to make sure you are on track to align your pictures, align your words, align everything. Okay, then when we're talking about balance is just, it's about finding, your balance is finding a good way to do things, that it's not scattered. Your design is not scattered. It doesn't look so rowdy. Okay? You should always find balance between the surrounding space, between, anyways. All these are so abstract. I understand. These are so abstract. These are abstract concepts to grasp now. But when we get into it, we get more understanding of this. Okay? So balance, we've talked about the elements of design basically. So moving on to the next slide, talking about branding. So as I said earlier, our focus is not photography. Our focus is not, well, there are lots of things people use Photoshop for. But for the sake of this class, our focus is branding. Branding is all about giving a company a particular design or symbol in order to promote their products and services, and includes product things people use for branding includes logos, banners, flyers, complimentary cards, also known as business cards, things like that. Even magazines, brochures, they are all part of branding. Even the shirts you see or the face cap that has the logo, all of these are branding. Is a way you package your company, right? You can brand yourself. Yeah, you can brand yourself, you can brand the company, you can brand, in fact, anything. So these logos on the screen, these are examples of different brands we know. Apple is there, Dove Cream, Domino's Pizza, Costa Coffee, LG, Life's Good for all the electronics and stuff, MasterCard. You can think of brands, you understand? That is branding. That's our main focus now, okay? So now moving on to the main thing. What is Photoshop? Photoshop is a program like most other programs, like CorelDRAW, like Illustrator. Adobe Photoshop is a program, it's just a program that helps to edit and create images. Help us to edit and create beautiful images, and it is made up of pixels. Okay, it is made up of pixels. Pixels are tiny, 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 very tiny, 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 little elements in Photoshop. Okay, that makes up the images. Okay, so yeah, At this point, we go straight to my presentation. I'm going to take this off now and display my Photoshop on the screen at the stage. Okay. So can everybody see me now at this point? Can everybody see me now? Come again. Hello. Hello.
Please, if you can see our facilitator, please comment on the comment section. I can see you.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, now for this part, this is the part. So I would like to know, does has anybody even tried to install the Photoshop with the laptop? I think I have 9 people live right now, so I want to know how many people have downloaded and installed the Photoshop the way I explained on that video. Can you please drop comments, please? Okay, thanks, Promise. You're welcome. So, have you downloaded? How many people have Photoshop installed on their system? Okay, that's one. Yeah. Well, regarding the phone one, I haven't really looked at the phone app to know what's about. But when I explain everything I'm explaining now, you can have a look at it and see. But definitely, you should get a laptop because the essence of this is using a laptop to design really beauty. Because obviously, there are limitations to what the phone can do, and we're trying to do the best we can. We're trying to, you know, okay, that's two, I guess. If the waving of hand means downloaded it. Okay, so I'm just going to go right straight into it. So this is Photoshop. This is what we call the home screen. All right. This is the home screen. What do we have here? We can see is this the menu bar? This is the Photoshop icon. See, just ignore this thing. I don't even know what they're saying here. Ignore this thing. So this is the icon, just an icon. Then this is the button to open a new file. And this is the button to open an old file or an old project that you're already working on. And this is your home button. So you can drag files or select one from your computer here to get started. So basically, this is your home screen. Okay. So we're just going to start from the beginning, okay? We're going to start from, well, uh, how to open a file, how to create a file, because obviously now I don't have any file here, okay? So how do we create a file? You click on new file, okay? So Photoshop has some presets. There are some presets in Photoshop, like A4 paper. If you click on just cancel. Can you see my screen though? Just want to be sure. Because now that I'm actually displaying the Photoshop, I left this page for a minute and I couldn't see.
Precious, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can see your screen, but we can't see what you're doing. It's just showing that front page of Photoshop. So we can't see what you're doing.
To remove
We are
this.
still in the home page. Maybe
Okay.
you should maybe you
I'm
should
going
try
to
it
now
next.
present. Let me remove this one. Stop screen. Okay. Now I'm going to present my screen all over again. Share screen. Window. Photoshop. Share. So how about now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
So can you see me moving my mouse around and everything?
No. So I think you have to share your entire screen to be able to achieve that. Right now, it's not. I'm not seeing.
So you can't see art and illustration. Did you see me just click on art and illustration? And
No,
well,
we are still on the home page.
the home page. Okay, no,
Yeah.
no,
So you have to share your entire screen
stop sharing.
instead of Windows.
Okay, then. So that's my entire screen, right? So
Yes.
this is Photoshop. So can you see me
Yes.
moving my mouse around?
Everything. Yes, yes, it's clear now.
See everything, but okay, just that I can't see you, but you can see me. Okay.
Yes.
So this is my screen. Okay, this is Photoshop. So as I said before, this is the home screen. Up here we have the menu bar. Everything here is your menu bar. Okay, we have file, we have edit, we have image, layer, type, select, filter, 3D view, plugins, window, help. Then we have the Photoshop icon. We have new file to create a new file, open to open an old file. Then we have the home button. Here is actually your, what's it called now? Kind of like your workspace, I guess. This is like your workspace. Anything you are working on, any file you try to create and you open, it will come up, it will come back here. Okay. What is this? Oh, no, 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 don't do this. Now fix it. Cancel. Okay. So we are going to new file. So first of all, I'm going to teach you how to create a new file. So if you click on new file, can everybody see my screen? Goodness.
Yes, yes.
Okay then. So when you want to open a new file, there are some presets that Photoshop has already put in place for you. Okay. For example, now, if you go to print, you will see letter. You see, this is the dimension of a letter, 8.5 times 11 inches. Okay. And this is a legal document, 8.5 times 14 inches. You have A4 paper, right? The size of A4 paper is here. If you want to print, if you want to design something that I don't want to print on A4 paper, you can just easily select this one, all right, and create, Abby. Or if you need A3 is here, if you need A5 is here. You understand? There's even a preset for, I think, a very small preset for, okay, if you want to do something like a business card, for example, some business card, I used to design business card then, I think 6.5 inches by, is it 6.5 inches or 6.5 mm by 4 mm. Sorry, hold on a minute. Business card dimension. So basically, this thing is actually not that hard though. If you go online, for example, let me show you this now. If I go to my tab, my browser, right, and I type dimensions of a business card, let's say I don't know how to design, I don't know the dimension of a business card, okay, in cm, that's it, 85 by, which is 8.5 by 5.5 centimeters, right? 8.5 by 5.5 centimeters. Okay. We can go back to Photoshop. If, for example, that's really, really what you want to do, then if you look at this place now, this will tell you the measurement of what you are doing. So we have pixels, we have inches, we have centimeters, millimeters, points, pickers. So I think these are bigger. Millimeters is bigger than centimeters. Centimeters is bigger than, no. Pixels is bigger than inches. Inches is bigger than centimeters. Centimeters is bigger than millimeters. Milliliters, I mean millimeters. Then this is bigger than point. This is bigger than pickers, right? So they just showed us something in centimeters, right? If you click centimeters there and put for the width 5.5, because that the width is 5.5, then the width is actually 8.5, right? And the height is what, 5.5, right? And then you click the orientation as something like this, which is a landscape mode. That's it. Okay, then here you can increase your resolution. If I want my design to be very, very clear, I just go for 300. But if you do that, bear in mind that your file is going to be very, very, it will be large. It will be a very large file. You see it in, MBs, you understand, bigger than what it would be normally if you just leave it at 100 resolution. And it will not be sharp, it will not give you that, it will not be that very sharp image, okay? You can leave that as pixels per centimeters, obviously. Then when you're designing, yes, let me just quickly say this. When you're designing for just to view in screen, you understand, to post on social media for social media promotions and all that, you leave it as RGB color. Okay. But when you are designing something for print and you know they will print it out, although we will not be going into that much, but for something for print, you use CMYK color. Okay. But for the sake of this class now, we're sticking to the RGB color because everything we're doing is for social media promotion, for prints, for e-flyers, for, you know, digital stuff. Okay. Then you can leave this at 8 bits. I always leave it as 8 bits. Then background content, usually just stick to white, just stick to white. Just that can be your basic background to start with. Then whatever you can work up with, you can do whatever you want to do from there. Okay. So basically now I just showed you what I do in if I, for example, if I was going to design a complimentary card. But for the sake of this class, usually when I want to design, for example, a flyer, although we're not designing a flyer today, so we can just stick to any preset at all. All right. Or if you go to mobile, you can, no, not even mobile, phone video, web, art illustration, font. I need a square kind of thing, and I'm not really getting it right now. Saved, recent. Okay, we'll just go with this one and select this orientation, okay? So I'm going to increase the resolution as I said. Usually I use 300. Then you can create a document. It's that simple. Here you will see that it is untitled. Here you see it is untitled, but you can always rename it when you're trying to save it out. Okay. So now we are in Photoshop. The scary Photoshop that people don't want to look at, people don't even want to see, people don't. This is a newly installed one and it has, see, I don't know how to get rid of this thing. So I don't know if you just bear with me. I don't know why it's doing this, but maybe because of my location, it's just acting up. Anyways, I hope nobody else is having that issue. So this is Photoshop, and this whole screen you're seeing can be divided into three basic parts. Okay, this is the menu bar that I showed you before, right? The file, edit, image, layer, type, select, filter, 3D view, plugins, window, and help. This is the menu bar. Then here you have the option to minimize, make it smaller, or cancel, close the app. Okay, that's your menu bar. Then you have your toolbar by the side, right? This is your toolbar, and I'll be explaining the uses of each and every one of these tools. Then here is your canvas. This is your canvas, okay? This is what you draw on. This is where you design on, okay? And it is white because we selected white color initially, if you remember. All right, so here is your what's it called now? What do I call it? This is your layers panel. This is your layers panel. So these other things, do you know what? If you actually look at this thing, you can close the tab group. Yes, I don't think we're using that. So if you close that tab group, it will make your work less complicated. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Anyways, this is your layers panel. So this part is your layers panel from here. Just make it big. For example, you make that kind of mistake, what do? You can always come back to Windows and Workspace, Essentials Defaults, and you can reset it. Okay, so there's nothing to worry about. If you mistakenly close any of those tabs, Windows, Arrange, Workspace. Anyways, we'll come back to that. Let's just talk about the menu bar one after the other, okay? So for when you click on file, this is the option to create a new file. This is the option to open an old file. Then open as smart objects, whatever that means. You can close all. These are the basic. If you've used Microsoft Word, it's quite similar to this. This is where you can save a copy, you can save your work, you can save as or save a copy, export the file, generate a new file, and place embed out, describe what they use that for. Then file info, print, and all that. So that's for the file. Then when you click on edit, you see undo, redo. So if you make a mistake, you could undo, or if you cancel something that you want to bring and you want to bring it back, you can redo. And there are always shortcuts for these things. So with time, you get very used to the shortcuts, and it won't be much of a problem. So you can search, check, cut, copy, merge, paste, paste special, clear. All these, all these are functions that you will get used to. You will need to, with time, you get very used to them and to not be difficult. Okay. So these are everything on edit, perspective wrap, content fill away. I would I would explain this in the course of the class. So for image talks about how to edit. It talks about everything about image. Anything you want to do to your image, you can find it here. So for the mode, you can change it to black and white, change the color, or stick to your RGB color. You understand those things. You can adjust brightness or contrast. These are, like, for example, your phone, you can see most of all these features. Like when you're editing picture on the phone, these are what it's like. That's how it comes up here. Okay, you can try it up. Obviously, you can try, experiment, just play with it, and you get to find out what each of them do. So you can also find image rotation, which you can do easily around on your canvas. Trim, when you want to trim or cut a picture. Crop, duplicate, apply image calculations, these things. You can get familiar with that later. So we have layers, okay? New, I'll explain layers. So I told you, oh God, no, 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 no. Where is my layer, right? The layers tab is right there. Okay, so everything you want to do, you can just rearrange on the layers there. So this is type. Type is all about fonts. Okay, all about fonts. Then select, when you want to select an image or select something from an image. Yeah, this is what you do, this is what you use. Then filters, use filters for some special effects that you want to do on your design. 3D, mostly for people that are doing into video editing and trying to create three-dimension designs, usually cartoons, animations, and stuff like that though. Then this is view. So view is all about screen mode. You see zoom in, zoom out. There are shortcuts for these things. As you can see, the shortcuts are just in front of what it does. Of like the very function, the shortcut is in front of it. So instead of coming all the way to this place to just zoom, you can just use the shortcut and it will zoom already for you. Then screen mode is we have standard screen mode, whatever, and all that. Extras, I'll explain the extras very soon. But my extras right now is ticked. Okay, so my extras will show. Let's make sure we tick extras because it always helps to tick extra. Make sure extras are ticked. Then we have rulers, okay, guides, no, log slices. Then plugins. Plugins are a whole different. It's a whole different. Will I say a whole different word, because plugins make your work easier. It makes your design, makes your job easier because it just gives you, for example, you can have plugins for textures, icons, plugins for different things. So you just click on the plugin, apply it to your design, and it's just like already made something. You can just That will just make your design faster, kind of. Anyways, moving on. Window. So with time, you can add some plugins to your panel. That's a different masterclass altogether. So window is your, this whole space now is the window. This whole screen you're seeing right now is the window. So under Windows now, I should be able to find that thing that I have cancelled because I need my layers panel for design. Okay. If mistakenly you find yourself that you've cancelled a layers panel like that, don't panic. You can always get it back. Anything you scatter in this place, you can always get it back. Let's say, for example, you close the tab group. Let's say we have closed everything, we have scattered everything, shey. There's nothing remaining in this place, right? Let's say even here sef, you still closed it. So let's say there's nothing at all in this place. Right now, sef, me, I'm panicking. Let's say you have no idea what you've done, you scattered everything, abi? You can come to Windows and there's always a way to get everything back to default. Okay? So if you click on workspace and you scroll down, let's look at it. You scroll down, photography, reset essentials, everything is back. So if mistakenly you close something mistakenly and you're not sure, you can always get it back from Windows. Okay, just go to reset workspace, reset essentials. Okay, so I've talked about the menu bar basically, and I've talked about this. This is just your canvas. So the layer, another most important thing that you will always be working with is your layers panel. Okay, when you open a new file, the layers will always be here. And what is layers? What is layers? For example, now this is my. For example, let's say this is my blank sheet, Abi, and I carry picture, and I put it on top. That's two layers. After the picture, and I carry my bag and I used to write something on top again. That's three layers. And I put something on top again. That's four layers. So that's how Photoshop works. You have your background to start with, for example, this white one. So anything you keep adding, even if it's text, even as small as a dot or a pin, anything you add to this, anything you start writing or editing or designing on this now become layers that you can arrange, and when you arrange it, they come on top and over each other, okay? So I'm just going to explain what I mean. For example, now I just carry a rectangle too, okay? Let's draw a very big rectangle. That's black, right? Let's change on, let me just put another color now, okay? Let's say red color. And I draw another rectangle in front again like this. What's that? Control Z. Cancel. Sorry. So if I select on no V, right? Let's say we want to draw a cycle this time around, okay? Red cycle. I don't want a red cycle. So let's change the color of this one to, let's put yellow, okay? So now we have how many layers here? We have the white background, then we have red rectangle, red square, then we have a yellow cycle, shey. So if you look at this place now, it's anything you are doing here, it will start to appear on your layers panel. So this is the background, which is locked. First of all, it's locked, Abi. I've not had any reason to unlock that background, is why I'm leaving it like that. Then the rectangle, this triangle, okay, it's even a rectangle, the row rectangle there. So this rectangle now is appearing there as the second layer. Then this one that is on top, the uppermost now, this yellow one is here. If I carry this one now, for example, let me shift it to the edge like this, eh? If I carry this ellipse one and bring it under rectangle one, do you see what happens? That one goes under the rectangle, okay? And if I bring it back up here, It comes on top. So the one, if ellipse, if the yellow is on top of the red, the yellow is above the red, and to show first before the red. And because these two are on top of the background, of course, the both of them are above the background. If, for example, I unlock this background, because if the background is locked like that, sorry, there's nothing you can do to it, okay? If the layer is locked, you can't move it. You can't move it around, okay? So you have to unlock any layer before you can move it. So if I select the layer now, it will be selected, right? Bring it on top. You see that that background now is now on top, is on top the other two. So let's take it back now and lock it as it was. So now that you've, I don't know, let me come back to the class because I've been talking for a while now and I don't want to lose anyone. So let's be sure people are following. Sorry, I can't stop sharing for now. Oh my god. Where's everybody? Am I still on? Yes, I am.
Yes, you're on. You're on, precious. You're on.
Okay. So I'm going to continue. All right, I just wanted to be sure. Did we understand what I just described about layers?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to continue now.
Maybe they should still reply on the comment section to be sure that they are going.
Please, if you are with me, can you just respond
If you are
if you
getting value,
understand? Okay.
please, if you are getting value, comment in the comment section. This is a
Just say
lot,
something.
you guys.
Just I just talked
Okay.
about layers, which is very important. I just spoke about layers
Please type on the comment section.
and
I'm
menu
getting
bar.
value. Please. So we'll know you're moving with us. Please. I'm getting value. Please type. If you have questions, you can always drop your question.
Please, can you repeat that layers part? Okay. So back to the layers. All right. What I was saying basically, I'll just present my screen again. Share screen.
Okay, Comfort. Matthew just said she's getting values.
That's really good. Thank you. Glad you're here. Okay. So what I said is, what is layers? Layers is putting something on top of another thing, adding another thing, putting on top, like stacking. When you're stacking something, putting some on top of another thing, on top, like just keep putting one thing on top of the other. That's layers. And anything that is on top is what you will see first before you will see the one that is on the bottom. True or false? If I'm looking at, let's say I'm facing something now. For example, now, if you take me, I'm the image, for example, in this picture, and my background is behind me. Before you see my background, you first see me. And the area that me I'm covering, you cannot see. You can't see through me and see my background and see the parts that me I'm covering on the background, right? That's exactly what I'm trying to explain to you, that before you will see, according to what you have arranged on the layers, and in the order in which, as you are designing, for example now, okay, I've draw cycle, I've draw, first of all I drew rectangle. After I drew rectangle, I now drew cycle. After I drew cycle, now let me write something. Let me now write something big. um Multi-skill the digital space. Might not be correct to what I'm writing, but do you know why you can't see it? Can somebody tell me why they can't see it? It's because if you look at this thing now, where is this thing? This that thing I just finished typing now is here, instead of that thing should supposed to be on top. When you put it, like if you see the way I just dragged it from between the background and this red rectangle, and I dragged it on top of the yellow rectangle, on top of the yellow circle, is why you can now see it on top, right? So if I'm to suppose, if I want to even draw, let's say I carry again, I draw triangle this time around. Maybe which color will I use now? Green. Let me say I draw green triangle on top of this place. Are you seeing that the triangle now is on top of every other layer? So that's the first layer. So this is the first layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, fifth layer, which is background. Okay. So basically, what I'm just trying to say is that as you are designing here, it is appearing in your layers panel, and in the order of which you design it, it will be appearing here. And you can rearrange it if you like. If I want this green triangle now to be under this yellow one, what do? I will drag it and put it under the yellow one. And the yellow one will be on top of the green one. This is really important. You really have to get this because this is basics that you need to know so that you can design something on Photoshop. This is arranging, this is all about arranging what you want people to see and what and the part that you don't want people to see, or what you feel is most important in the design. I don't know if you understand. I cannot write something like this now, eh? For example, now this is actually a text. What is see me? Oh. I went to go and download 2023 Adobe Photoshop. I'm very used to the 2022 one. But don't panic. I know what I'm doing anyways. So if I want to reduce the size of this one right now, text. That's the thing about Photoshop. When you understand Photoshop, you know that there's more than 1,000 ways to do one thing. I can do it this way, but someone else will do it a completely different way, but we'll do the same thing, we'll achieve the same thing. So there's no point trying to cram anything. Just get the concept, get the basics, and you'll be able to fly. Okay. So imagine me, I wrote this text out now, and the yellow circle is blocking it. It does not make any sense. But for the fact that I want people to see that text that I just wrote, I'll put it on top of the yellow one, right? That's basically what I'm explaining. So wait first, let me even go back to my studio and see what if we understand. I understand the layers, but other things she said earlier was not that clear. Maybe because I'm not with the PC. Okay, but I am actually describing what you will see in really. Actually displaying my laptop for you, and when you open your own, it's still going to be the same thing. And this video will always be here to come back to. Okay, so basically that's the layers. Okay, so moving on. Moving on now. That's about the layers panel, layers, and everything. So let's just talk about the tools because I've been using tools now and I've not described what they do. So first of all, what we have here is a move tool. Okay, when you even hover over it, like when you just put your mouse on it, you see what it does. They'll describe it for you. Okay, so everything is made easy for you. So this is
Please,
your move
sorry,
tool.
very short.
Yeah,
Please
yeah.
permit me to say something because please, whether you're with a PC or you're not with a PC, get the basics, please. Let's
Get the
get the
basics.
basics.
Yes, yes,
Get the
yes.
basics. If you can understand this, you can make use of any software, not necessarily Adobe Premiere Pro. You can make use of anyone just because you understand the basics. And she's about to talk about tools. Those tools are the old, is like the foundation of editing.
Yeah.
So please let's listen to her and get the concept. And that is it, please. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So for the tools now, the first one right there is the move tool. It's also called a selection tool. When this is activated, you can move anything around. Okay? This is the tool that you use to move things around. And I can just select this one now and move it around. Okay? If I select this one, move it around. Show, yes. Do you know why? If you click on show transform controls, it will, okay, transform control is different actually. But I don't know why it's not showing that this one is selected. But on the layers panel, you see what is selected and what is not selected, right? So this is basically the move tool. You use it to move things around. So for this is me moving things around with the move tool. Okay, that's the function of the move tool. So number two is rectangular mark tool. It helps you to make selection in the shape of a rectangle. So if you had, for example, an image, let's go online and grab an image. Let's grab an image from here. Um, don't know. Just grab. I just want us to grab an image. Actually, nothing much, but I want a very clear image. So I'll go to size large. I want something with multiple characters in the image. Okay, let's use this one. So, okay, I'm just going to kill two birds with one stone. You have an image. How do you put it in your? How do you take it to your Photoshop? You can either copy. I told you, there's more than 100 ways to do one thing. Though, when it comes to Photoshop, and I'm not even joking about it. You can copy image. Once you copy image, normally on normal circumstances, I'm going to try this and let's see if it works. Control V, maybe Command V, whatever you're using, and the image will paste. Okay, I've clicked on show transform controls. That's what I'm talking about. So this is your image, but you just brought it from internet though. That's how to export image. That's how to import image. So that's I just explained how to import image, right? For example, you already had the image saved to your laptop or your phone. You can drag it from the folder and just paste it here. If you drag an image from, let's hope I have a picture. I don't think I have a picture. I don't think I have any pictures. This is relatively new. Okay. Let's say, see this one now, Photoshop cover photo. If I drag this one now, are you seeing that X? Is looking like bad right now, Shay? If I drag it into Photoshop and drag it here, are you seeing that it's allowing to copy now? And you release it, it will paste. Then you click good and it has pasted. This was what I used for one of my slides. So if you want to move this tool around, Control Z, please. If you want to move this around, that is why you need that move tool. Move tool, the shortcut is V. If you click V on your keyboard, it will easily just switch to move tool and you can move it around a bit. And if you look at the layers that I was explaining to you now, you see that after I typed that font I typed, then I brought in this one first, this camera picture. After that, I brought in this camera picture, then I now brought in this Photoshop API. So it is in the order I used to bring things in, is the order that the thing we used to arrange itself here. Unless I deliberately allowed, say the thing should enter here, but that's kind of complicated and I won't bother you with that now. But just know that when you are bringing something into Photoshop, the layers keep stacking up accordingly. According to as you designed it, is how the layers will be arranged. Unless you want to now rearrange it, you come here and arrange it yourself. So I was about to describe. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to mute this because we'll cancel. In fact, okay. So I was going to explain the use of the rectangular mark tool. I'm just going to make this bigger so that we can all see what we're doing. Let me delete this one. So if you click on the rectangular mark tool now, and the tool says it can, I don't know, the tool says it can make a selection in the shape of a rectangle. I hardly use this tool. That's just the fact. It's not all the tools here that you use. Like that's even something that tool can do. Like, or you can get another tool that can still do the same thing that you want to do. So there are some tools you might not even use in months and months and months. So this is one of them. You might find it very, very useful. But imagine now making a selection of just this camera because it's rectangle shape. Are you seeing? It has made a selection of just that camera. But if you want to cut this camera out of this picture, I can do it. But that's a different I will not want to complicate the whole thing right now, but okay, let's get into it. For example, now this image, I want to cut it. Did you see that after I selected this camera now, I'm trying to move it, but it's not moving. Why? Why will it not? Why should it not move? Because this image is not yet rasterized. Let's say the meaning of rasterized is Photoshop does not does not recognize the image. Let's just put it like that. So we come to this layer. The very layer has to be selected. Okay. If you right click on the layer, you see a lot of options will come up, right? And you see rasterize layer, create clipping mask, whatever, mesh video, all these functions are what usually comes up. All right. But for example, now, okay, the layer is already rasterized. It was already rasterized. This is when I right click on it. Did you see that rasterized layer is actually not is not selectable? It's because that picture is already rasterized. But just make sure if you're trying to do something and if you're trying to do something to a picture and it seems like it's not working, check if it's rasterized. And if it's not rasterized, make sure you rasterize the layer. After you rasterize the layer, I made the selection with the mark tool, right? After making the selection, then you use the move tool to remove that part of it. And you see that your picture is now here. And that is still on the first layer. So if you are moving this layer, I think everything is selected and it will move together. Okay. But for example, if you wanted to cut this out completely, or let's say you wanted to delete it, all you have to do is press delete and it's gone. Let's Control Z, bring it back, okay? And you want to resize it, make it smaller, press enter, it's there. And when you finish, are you seeing this line that is going round and round and round and round? You can deselect that. There's an option to deselect, and that should be here, deselect. Okay, but you can also press Ctrl D and it will deselect. All right, so that's basically what the Mark II does. See, I'm not going to go into much details to complicate or to confuse anybody. I'm just going to tell you plain as it is what each tool does. That's what we're doing here. So that's what the Mark II does. Used to select, make a selection from a picture, and eventually it can cut it out or delete it or remove it or whatever you want to do with it. Okay, that's the Mark II. That's your rectangular Mark II. Then moving on, we have the lasso tool. This is just like the rectangular Mark II. You used to select a part of a picture and then you can remove it or delete it or cut it. But this one is not rectangle. This one you can make a freehand sketch. For example, now let me free sketch this one because it's not, let's say, if I want to zoom in, it's just what saying, instead of going over where view, right? Is it view? Yes, view. Then zoom in. How many times will you keep doing that? Biko, how many times will you keep doing that? So if you want to zoom in, if you hold your alt down and because I don't use mouse, the external mouse. I use my mouse pad on my laptop. So if you shall hold your alt and click, drag up, it will zoom out. Drag down, it will zoom in. Or whatever works for you. If you drag up, it zoom in. Good. Drag down, it zoom in. Shall it will zoom. So drag zoom and it will zoom. Or you see it's that easy to zoom. Okay. Now we can clearly see what we want to cut this time. So let's make a freehand selection round, around, around, around. Okay. Then you select move to, then you can use it to move that object out of the way. Then you can even carry it somewhere else, or delete it, or cut it, or just do whatever. So basically, you can use that to make a selection. Please, I hope all these images are not disturbing. Mind you, you see what I'm doing? You can turn off any layer you want. Okay, you can turn it off or turn it on. This eye in this place means you can turn it off or turn it if you don't want to see it, or you want to hide it. Yes, it's used to hide. If I want to hide this picture now, just click on this eye, click on it back. Basically, that's what it does. Because sometimes you want to hide something first so that you can see clearly what you're doing first before you bring it back. In that case, you can hide or make it show. So that's lasso. That was the lasso tool. But if you look clearly, the lasso tool has a drop down menu. A tiny arrow means there are other variations of the tool. So if you right click on it, you will see polygonal lasso tool. This is the normal lasso tool that we have used. You see polygonal lasso tool, you see magnetic lasso tool. Same difference. Like the polygonal one now, it means once you click this one, my hands are free. Oh. I have to click again, click again. Sha, it will cut the picture in the shape of a polygon. Do you understand? And not a circle, not a rectangle, but polygon is why it's called polygonal lasso tool. But it does the same thing. After you've marked it like that, you need to come back to move to, is to move it away, or you can delete it if you want to delete it. But let's bring it back. And let's deselect with Control D. Control D will easily deselect anything for you. Because I did not place it where is why you're seeing this red line. So you can ignore that. We're just playing with this. So also for the rectangular mark tool, there's even a tiny drop down I'm just seeing. So rectangular mark tool, the circular mark tool, single row mark tool, single column mark tool. So same thing it does, it's just different shape. So moving on, we have object selection tool, quick selection tool, magic wand tool. The object selection tool will select any object you enclose there. Oh, see, this is brilliant because I'll say it because in 2021 Photoshop, you won't see it highlight like this. Okay, so if you ignore that pink thing that is showing, displaying there, you just select this like this, for example. See, I'm not doing anything. Photoshop is going to, by itself, select it. And this is what I use most times. And not even the rectangular one. This is what I use most times because it will just do the job for you. Make it so easy. Okay. Then from here, if you select V, you can, do what you want to do. So it's also a selection tool. So basically, this is a selection tool. This is a selection tool. This is a selection tool. But when you go to the drop down menu, you get more options. Like this quick selection tool now, for example, is like freehand, right? We can just use this free selection tool. If you are clicking and dragging around an object, it will just be selecting it for you, small, 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 till you completely select what you want to select. And that is the problem with it because when you now get to a part that there's no clear contrast between the object you're selecting and the background, it will now make this mistake that you're seeing here. But you can correct the mistake if you press Alt. You will see that the sign, sorry, just a minute, I'm going to zoom in so you see better what I'm showing you. Okay, are you seeing that it's a plus? Now my mouse is a plus, right? And that's what I've used to select so far, right? But because there's no clear contrast between this object and the background, the computer has selected even the background alongside with the object, and you don't want that. What do? If you hold the Alt key, it will change that plus to a minus, and anything you surround, anything you hover around at that moment, it will remove from the selection. So if we go and click around this now, are you seeing? It is now removing the background, the part of the background that I don't want. It will be removing it small, small. And this is the challenge of quick selection. But I use it. I use it most times because it's actually very fast for me. Okay. So that's the function of a quick selection tool. All right. Then when you change to the move tool, you can move it around as I said before. So Control D, Control deselect. Oh, what have I done? Control Z, please. Control deselect, right? To remove the selection. That wavy lines shows that you've selected something. So if you want to, when you're done, you can Control D or come over to this place, select, then you deselect. This is not highlighted right now because there's nothing selected. So when nothing is selected, nothing is activated, the option will not be available here. So all this will come to you better as you practice. So this is a selection tool. This is a selection tool. This was a selection tool, quick selection tool, and we had those drop downs. So the magic one too, well, you can experiment with that. You already know what this does. You know what this does. You can try out and know what this does. But it's basically also a selection tool. So crop tool is used to crop an image. I find this quite challenging because what it does, it will crop the whole of your canvas and not just the layer that you have selected. I'll show you what I mean. Are you seeing what it does? And if I click good, that becomes your canvas. That's everything. So basically, just think of the crop tool, not for an image. You use the crop tool to crop the whole canvas. Okay? So maybe there's even a function that makes it crop only an image, probably. But that's different because Control Z, let's go back to normal. Let's say I actually want to crop this image, this particular image, just this one. What I can do is enter into the image of which that's a different class. In fact, I don't think I'm going to crop to. Just know that what this does, as you can see, as I just displayed for you, I can't go into that in detail right now because it will take a long time. So what this does, just know that when you select crop to as I just displayed for you, it will crop the whole of your canvas and reduce the aspect ratio of whatever you're working with at that moment. So why bother? As crop to. If you want to crop an image or if you want to make it smaller, bigger, I can describe how you do that on a different class. I don't know. Photoshop keeps doing this, and I can't deal with this right now. So cancel and go back. I hope they will not shut down this Photoshop before my class will end. The way they're threatening me. Anyways, that's just by the way. So we've discussed the crop tool now. And moving on, after crop tool, we have this one. What do they call it? Frame tool. Places, create placeholder frames for images. Basically, we can even see what the thing does there, right? And that's as simple as ABC. So let's try it out, right? Can try it out. What do we use now? Let's use this one. And I don't even know what I'm going to do. If you create a frame over this image, over this area, for example, that means you can possibly you can embed something. You can embed and probably embed another image in it. Let's look for one of my random images and embed and see if it's going to work. Why not? This is how you learn. Well, there you go. So you can just embed an image. When you use the frame tool to create a frame. It says create placeholder frames for images. So when you use it to select an area, a particular area, then you can bring in a picture and put it in that area that you have selected. And you can either make it round or you can do the square one. So you can do round one. Okay, this is a round one, Abby. Then as you have selected the round one, then you go to file, then you go to place embedded, then to open your gallery or your whatever, and you can place an image in that place you have area you have selected. But to me, why? You can just bring in a picture, and I don't know. There are different ways to do this. Trust me, a whole lot of ways to do this. So moving on, that's your frame holder tool, right? We've got the eyedropper tool. samples colors from an image, just as it has said. So, for example, now maybe you click on this one. Did you see that it automatically changed this box to blue? Control Z. It will not, I mean, it will not change. Let's click on another. This is green, right? And this place is blue. If you click on this place, it changes that blue here to green. And that means whatever you draw or write is probably going to be that color. Text. Let us write, where is my shoe? It's going to be green. Whatever color is displaying here, you know that that's what, whatever you are doing, whatever you want to draw or whatever you want to type, it's going to take that color basically. Oh my god, this is so messy. This is so messy. But well, we're just testing all the tools out. So basically, so that's the eyedropper tool. Then we have the spot healing brush tool. Apparently, what this does is make things disappear. Funny, right? But what I can see is, imagine you have a picture. Let's say I took a selfie and there's this spot on my face that doesn't want to go off. And I want the picture to be flawless. I want everyone to tell me my skin is popping. I'll just use this spot healing tool or whatever. What do they call it? Um, yeah, spot healing brush tool, right? I'll use it to clean off the spots on that image. Yes, it can do that and it will look plain. To try to imitate as if there was nothing there in the first place, according to the little display that it just did. I don't know if you understand. But there are other ways to also do this on Photoshop. But let's try it out. So now we have selected this image. We've selected this what's it called? This tool now. But why is it showing cancel on here? Because when you look at this now, it only works on images and my text is selected. But if you go and look for one picture now, let's say the picture, the test rabbit that we're basically, which is this picture. Are you seeing that it is working now? It is working, Abby. The two is playing around. Let me zoom in so you can see. Are you understanding? So when text was selected, it was showing cancel because that tool can only work on an image. So you make sure that your image is selected. When it's an image you want to work on, make sure it is selected on the layers. It will always be selected here. So let's not waste time on that. You can make it bigger. I've not even been talking about my, anyways. It's this is really not easy, but I really hope you're getting it. Photoshop is not hard. Sincerely, Photoshop is not difficult. It is really not. When you get the basics, you can play around with it anytime, anything. So back to the spot healing. So let's remove this one. The way the computer described it, Abby. Let us remove this one. We are marking it small, small. Imagine, mind you, if I had made this brush bigger, a little bit bigger. So it has attempted to remove, to try and disappear that thing, right? But it was not very, very successful because the image is very, very rowdy. Usually what it does, it will pick the surrounding. Pick this one. Okay. Let's make it very, very easy. Take a very clear example. Let's go online and look for another image that we'll use for that one. If we use, I want a very, very clear image, but anyways, I'm not going to waste time on that. There's no point. Just shall know that, for example, you want to clean this face. If this was a very, very plain picture, you see that it will adapt that area you have selected. It will take the background and use to cover it. It will cover it somehow. There's a way it does it, okay? But basically, what it does has been displayed here, and it's quite easy to understand, okay? As you select it, if the background is plain enough, it can wipe it off for you. Moving on, this is your brush tool. I love this tool so much. I use it so much. You can use it to do lots of things, effects, everything. Just brush things over. And you have when you click on the brush tool, then this bar has been coming up since, and I've not said anything about it. Shay, I just wonder what I'm going to do now. Anyways, I'm going to start with the brush tool. When you click on the brush tool, you can come here to change certain things concerning the tool. Okay, like the size for once. It is very small right now, and it's as if you can even notice it on my panel. But if I increase the size, it's bigger. If I still increase the size more, it's way bigger. And I can use to, and it is showing green color because it's green that is showing here. If I should change this color to blue, you will see it becomes blue paint. And if you see, everything I'm doing is added to my image layer. I could have, if I wanted to, add a new layer. This is the icon to create a new layer. If you hover around some functions here, you can see what they do. So I could have created a new layer. Then it will be on this layer that I will now put red paint or put any color of paint I want to put on top. Then when I off this one, it's gone. But I can bring it back by turning it on. Is why you don't, when you have an image, anything you're doing to that image, you try to do it on a layer on top of the image and not directly to the image, because you might make a mistake or you might think, I don't think I want that there. And you've already damaged that image. You have to start again. So anything you're doing, try to do it on another layer, on another layer, on another layer. And you can easily delete the layer if you don't want it. That's just one tip for you. Anyways, we can Control Z and all these paints will go away from my image. So moving on, that's a brush tool. Basically, you can use to brush colors or whatever on top of this thing. And we have different modes as well. So you can also play around with this. For example, let's create a new layer. Plus, right? And spray red paint on top, right? And let's say, this looks too normal. You come here, you don't want normal, you want dissolve. Looks the same thing. You want behind, looks the same thing. You want clear, the same. They all look the same. They all look the same. They all look the same. I don't know why. But actually, I don't know why actually it's doing that. But you could use it to get different effects. That's why it's there. Different effect or different. It's going to just change the way. Okay, let's try dissolve. Did you see that? This was what I was expecting that one to do, but it didn't do it. Darken. Did you see that? But these are the blend. These are what you use to blend in some things together. But this is quite advanced, a little bit advanced, not basic at all. This is not basic. But I'm just trying to see, let you know that what just trying to do this alone, like, can change the way it will be appearing on the canvas. Okay. Or maybe it's because I've already drew this. Let's say, let's choose color bond. See the same thing. So no need control C, control Z. Sha brush tool. And then you can change, let's Control Shift Z will bring it back. Let's now reduce the opacity. You can reduce the opacity. Then anything you draw will not be as thick as that. So if you increase it, because this one, this particular one, the opacity was 100%, is why it is big and obvious. Okay. But you see that when I reduce the opacity, anything I draw is not as thick as that one. Okay, I've been talking. I've been talking. Let me even know what's happening in the class. Wait first. Yes, where are you people? Where are you people? Hello, everyone. Are we following? Are we following? This is Photoshop. And everyone is supposed to be with their laptops, doing stuff, demonstrating, experimenting. Are we following at all? Please, I need response. Well, this class is scheduled to end in the next couple of minutes. And can I get some response
Please, if
at
you
all?
are following, please type I'm following, please. That's the best way we'll know that you are here with us. If you're not following, let us know you're not following and draw us back to the point where you're not following.
Am I too fast? Is it understandable so far?
Yeah, for me,
Understand?
yes.
Okay. Okay. Because
So
all I've
please
done is
keep
just
in mind,
explain
type
the way
in
these
mind.
things are. We're just explaining how those things work. Okay, I think I just got a response. Yes. Okay. Moving on. Thank you very much. What are we going to do for today's class? Anyways, if we can just discuss these tools, I'm happy. I'm so happy. Then tomorrow we can go into something, more fun, I guess. Because like I'm just the only one talking and you're not doing anything. So that's the brush tool. Brush tool is brush tool. Then this is what we call clone stamp tool. If you look at that small display that is displaying it there now, you understand, you see that it's doing something, right? Are you seeing what it's doing? It's like it's distributing the fruit around everywhere. Like it's doing like copy and paste, I would say. So if you clone a particular area, you can paste it on a blank area. I'll explain. I'll explain, but I don't think I have the picture to explain it. Hey God, hey God, hey God. Phew. Photoshop. Okay. Let's say layers, right? See, right now, Control A, Control T. Okay. I'm going to cancel everything here. Go away. Everything go away. Okay. Mm, I'll just come here, look for a fruit. I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm trying to do, but I need a very clear image I can use and copy and paste. Looking for a very clear example at this. In this case. Okay, can use this one. I think just copy, come here, paste, very small, can resize. So what this clone stamp can do, when you select that picture that you just make sure it's selected here. Once you select it and you click on your clone stamp tool, which is this one, and you even have variations, pattern stamp tool, clone stamp tool, so same difference. Let me zoom in for you. And you can always make it bigger here. Make sure to explore these things. They are there for you to use. Small, small, and you follow. Before you know, you can follow what they are really saying. So if you click on Alt, you see that the thing has changed to a small plus. Anything you click there, it's as if, are you seeing that I am able, but the further you go away from that thing, that when you click on Alt and tap it and click it, if you hold Alt, the sign will change to a plus. It means it's ready to it's ready to clone that part. Once you click on Alt and click on it, you hold Alt, click on it. it will clone that part you have clicked on, and it will be ready to paste it. I've released the Alt key. I am is happy to paste around. But are you seeing that other small plus that is showing? It means that as I'm moving my mouse around, the farther I go away from that distance, it is copying, it is busy copying something else and not what I initially wanted it to copy. So you have to be very, very careful with this tool. Let's make it bigger. All right, this should be better now. I hold my Alt key. It has changed to a small plus. I click on it. It has cloned that part, right? I'm not clicked anything, no, but it's as if it's following me, Shay. Are you seeing what I'm doing? And as I'm clicking this one, that small plus is showing. That means it is where that plus is showing is the part that is copying for me. God, with this, you know that when you're practicing it, you understand. And if I like, I describe this from now to tomorrow, till you get your hands on this thing, you have no idea what I'm talking about. That's just a fact. But just try. It's really not difficult. All you have to do, click. If you feel like it has deviated from what you asked it to do, it has deviated, it's copying something else. Go back to what you want. Alt, clone it, carry it, stamp it. It's as easy as that. But as you move around, know that the plus will be shifting, and you can, if you're tired of that, you can go back, click it. That's basically what clone stamp tool does. Let me not waste time on that. So that's the clone stamp tool, and you also have for pattern stamp. So same difference. Then you have your history brush tool. What does it do? What does it do? Restores part of an image to an earlier state. So for example, you mistakenly, because brush tool can actually erase, or you can use to draw. Restores part of an image to an earlier state. So yeah, it's for image. History brush tool used to restore. Okay, for example, now we have disfigured this image very well. So let's try it out. History brush tool. What is it doing? Control Z. Please restore. As he said, it will restore. Anyways, come to brush, make it bigger. Okay. But it might not be able to restore, because it might not really be able to tell what was there before. Right? So basically history brush to just restores like it's on an image. I don't know. So I think I don't want to go into details for this brush because it's not worth the time right now, and it's not what you're going to use, trust me. So moving on, after history brush tool, we have the eraser tool. You know what an eraser is, so I'll not just waste time with this one. Eraser B. It can erase an image. Can you say erase an image or a brush? Changes pixel to the background color, makes them transparent. Yes, you can clean anything cleanable, this thing. So it's very, very powerful tool. Okay. Gradient tool. You use this to draw gradients. There are lots of presets for your gradients. You have basic. If you come here, you see them. There are very plenty. Basic colors. Then you have blue gradients. So many to choose from. For example, you select this one. You can draw. No, not on that layer. That's the thing with this thing. So if I click on U, right, that gradient tool, U is a shape tool. U is shape tool, the shortcut for shape tool, right? Then if I now click on gradient tool, let's say I want to make this a gradient. I think I have to rasterize this layer before I can do that. As I said. Well, interesting. I really don't use gradient so much because if I know what I do to achieve gradient, so basically gradient to you can use to I think it just makes the whole background to be well. For example, I did that, and I then reduce the opacity here. It just puts that effect there, right? So yeah, I guess that, but that's just gradient too. That's what it does. Gives you gradients, and you have lots and lots of them here. And if you wanted to create your own gradients, you're always welcome to do that. You're always welcome to do that. I guess that's why these options are here. You see different ways to, do the thing. I tell you. Anyways, that's a gradient too. So we have a blur tool. According to what you see in the image, simple as that. Blurs area in an image. I'm not even going to waste time with that. Okay. You can increase the size. Always come here, increase size. I don't know. Then hardness to make it more effective what you're trying to do. Make sure you select the layer that you want to change, you want to affect. So why is it not working? Why is it not working? If you go to the hardness and make it very hard, let's see if it blurs anything. Still not working. Is it working? Anyways, that's what it does. I think it's working. I think it's working. Anyways, blur to blur any image. Rasterize. Still rasterize. Blur to blur an image. Okay. What is this? Dodge to lightens area in an image, just like that. Okay. So this is pen tool. This is another very important tool that is used mostly, I would say mostly for logos. You need this tool so much when you're creating logos, but not so much when you're doing designs, when you're doing flyers and stuff. Because when you're doing a flyer, all you need is your text, images, shapes, and just play around with colors. You're really not designing. You're really not. Pen is like as if you're drawing from the scratch. Okay, and it takes practice to learn how to use this tool. Okay, for example, now what I'm doing, well, pen tool is a whole different ballgame, whole different, but it's just shard is used to draw. Pen tool alone is a class on its own. It can do so much. There's so much that this tool can do. But know that pen tool is used for drawing. And you have different variations of the tool. If you right click, you see free from pen tool, curvature pen tool, add anchor point tool, delete anchor point tool, convert point tool. So that's it. And this is your text tool. You have variations of the tool too. If you right click, if you always right click or click on this small corner here, it will bring out the drop down menu. Well, just right click to bring out all the many what it can do. So you have the horizontal type tool, vertical type tool, vertical type mask tool. See, if you can forget about this tool, for me, I'm very grateful because it's not even basic at all. So for the horizontal type tool, I think that's what everybody knows, right? Lorem ipsum. Then for the vertical type tool, same difference. To arrange it like this vertically, and that's your text. That's your text, everything. To arrange it vertically like that instead of the horizontal one. So that's for your text tool. I'll just go back to the original, the normal one. So this is your path selection tool directory. This is also another selection tool. Okay. But you used to edit something you've already drawn. This is used for is used mostly for it select a whole part. Yes, and a part is something that you've drawn shapes. Shapes. The shape is you can use to select shapes. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, it's a part selection tool. Then this is triangle tool. Yeah, this is our normal shape tool, right? So you can, if you right click, you can draw rectangle or ellipse. Ellipse is circle, or triangle or polygon or line or a random shape you want to just construct by yourself with your hand. Okay, so the shortcut is U, all of them. So once you select polygon, polygon is selected there, and anytime you press U, it will go to polygon. But if you leave whatever the last thing you use is what it will be. But when you press U, it will just bring out your shape too. Okay, try and learn how to use shortcuts because it will help you a lot. Like the move to now, V, selection to now, W, crop is C normally. Then text is T, then shape is U. Okay, then this is your hand tool. Hand tool is what will pans over. If you want to drag, if you want to move your canvas over the whole place, you press you go to this icon. But I don't use that. No. If I press on my alt, okay, that's what this thing. If you click on your space bar, when you click on your sorry, why is it not moving around? Anyways, sure, it's when you click on that one, you can move your canvas around, okay? Yeah, I think that's it. That's enough. But I know I use if I want to drag something down. I know the shortcut used to be H. Oh, H. I'm holding H right now and it's still not moving. So I think it's a fault from this system or something. Anyways, that's that. You can use it. You can also use spacebar for that, just to move your canvas around to have a better view. Then this is your normal zoom, of which I told you Alt will do the work. Alt you zoom, Alt and scrolling up, you zoom in, scroll down, you zoom out. Just holding Alt key, then you can zoom in, zoom out. You don't have to be going there. Okay, and then what's this? Edit toolbar. Don't really have to do that. And then this is your color selection. This is your set color. Okay, the foreground color, background color. Okay, edit in quick mask mode, not basic at all. You don't have to worry yourself about that. What is this? Change screen mode. Please, we don't want to change. We do not want to change screen mode. Okay, so if you click on this color, I told you whatever color you select is going to appear here. The latest color you've used will be most active and to be here. So you have all the range of colors here. Okay, so you can select anything: red, blue, green, yellow, everything is here. And if you have the hex code, you can just easily put it here and to generate the color for you. Okay, usually white is F F F F F F F F F. When you press all the F in this life, it will give you white. And if you press all the zero in this life, into this place, to give you black, the blackest black you've ever seen. So there are different hex code. If I should change, there are different hex code. For example, now I'm just pressing random numbers and it's generating different colors. Are you seeing? Just 8 is the difference between this kind of green and this kind of green. I don't know if you understand. So hex code is really, really important. I will get into it probably tomorrow, hopefully, because there's still a lot we need to talk about. So I think I've been able to cover colors. I've been able to cover the toolbar, layers panel, and what else? Everything you're basically seeing it. So I hope after my class, no, I think I need to see you one on one to discuss what I want to discuss now. I hope after my class, the home screen is not really looking too bad. You know that complicated feeling you usually get when you just open Photoshop. Like, what are all these buttons? What are they doing there? So at least you're getting familiar with what these things do, and actually playing around with it is really not. It's really not a big deal. People play around with Photoshop, okay? And this is really, really easy. Oh my god, stop sharing, please. So this is easy. It is really easy, and when the more you practice, the more you get used to it. So you really need to try and get your system, get into it, practice these tools, all these things. Just play around with, and you see that it's really not that difficult as you see it to be. Okay. So I guess that'll be all for today, guys. I'm sorry, but I did not realize we'll spend so much time on just on the introduction theory stuff. I try not to talk about theory so much so that we can do get into the practical, but we really had to discuss the tools and everything. So that's what we can do for today. Tomorrow we're going to continue and hopefully we're going to get our hands on. But it's really not encouraging when I'm trying to actually carry people along, but I'm not even quite sure how many people even have this laptop, how many people actually have downloaded the app to use. So it's not quite easy on my part because if I want to give assignments, for example, now, so I expect any to be submitted, or I'm just going to be talking to myself. Anyways, tomorrow we're going to get more into the practical aspect. So thank you so much for listening, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I hope you've learned something today on Photoshop.
Thank you so much, Precious. You finished at exactly 1:45. That is the exact time we're supposed to round up your teaching, and 15 minutes for question and answers, and just to run through any confusion here from everyone watching. So if you're out there and you have a question, please, this is not a place to be shy, or this is what you want to be cleared about, please. Miss Precious is still here. So please send your questions now in the comment section. But before we go straight to question, if you know that you've gotten something from what she has been saying, just type I got value, or I'm getting value. I'm getting values. That is the whole aim. Remember, I said you give value in exchange for money. That is the only way you can get money. You have to have value. So if you know you've been getting something, please type on the comment section, I'm getting values, please. Type on the comment section, I'm getting values, please. Type on the comment section, I'm getting values. Let it come in, please. As soon as I have two or three in the comment section, then we can proceed to asking questions. Then while we are waiting for that, you can type your question. If you have any question, thank you, thank you. I'm guessing this is Oyewa. Oyewa says she got value. Thank you. Okay, another person says I am getting value. Thank you very much for okay. Okay, the first person that said I got value is Mustafa, Mr. Mustafa. He says he's getting value. Um, Miss Oyewa says she's getting value also. Thank you very much. Please, we want you to drop your question. We have few minutes. This class is 2 hours, but if you followed our orientation, 1 hour is for the first section, 45 minutes is for the second section, then 15 minutes is for question and answers. So, except you want us to wrap up now, it's all in your hands. So bring in your questions. Whatsoever is your confusion, please bring it now so we can cover it up so that we can clear your confusions. So if you have questions, please ask your question.
I was going to say something, please. Um, is everyone here? Are they on the WhatsApp group chat?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so I can talk to them on WhatsApp, right? I would like to
yes.
know, please, can you go online on WhatsApp and maybe after the class, please, I want to know how many people have downloaded the Photoshop and how many people will be able to participate in this. It's really important because I need to know the people I'm dealing with here. I know the video will always be available, but I want to know the people I'm actually working with at this point moving forward. Thank you.
Please, you heard the instructions. So go to the group chat and indicate if you know you have the app, you downloaded Adobe Photoshop. Please indicate in the group chat. So while we work on that, please send in your question. If you don't type any question, we'll assume that you understand everything. We'll assume. Bring in your question, whether it's outside, whether it's inside this class. Bring in your question. If it's something, okay, Okay, you have a question. I don't know if you can see it, Miss
Yes, as soon
Precious.
as we end this live, you'll see the video there. Thanks to the organizers of the digital space. It's actually paid for. It's not free. It's not a free version. So please take advantage of that. Go over the class over and over as much as you need. Yes. Okay. Any other question, please?
Okay. If you get something,
Was there any network glitch, please? Did anybody have struggle with their network connection? Maybe from our end, not your end. I mean, any network issues? I guess not. So I guess we'll be calling it a night.
okay, since there is no question, we'll have to call it a night. Thank you so much, Miss Precious. Beautiful Miss Precious. Thank you so much for this. We
Thank
do
you,
not
ma'am.
take it for granted. We
Thank you, ma'am.
appreciate every second you spent with us, every minute, every hour. We appreciate it and we are grateful for this. So thank you so much as we want to excuse you from the platform.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for confirming that the network was okay. Thank you for confirming that the network was okay. Yeah. Okay. I have more comments that the network was clear. Thank you so much. I hope you got value from this, everyone. Please. This class was the network was I was actually very certain about this class because the network over there in UK it's stable and very okay. So I was a little bit certain for a network and also for mine because I had made preparation for it. So the it's now in your court to decide if you are going to get the best from this. So I stated earlier in the group, make sure before this class commences, you have your network, your data connections, you have your data on, you are subscribed, you've baited, you're ready, you've served the family, and it's just you and your screen ready to get the best from today. It's just 2 hours. If you can invest these 2 hours in yourself for these few days we are going through, that's for these 15 days. I think it's 15 days or 16 days, but no matter the time, but for these few days we are going to be running, if you can invest these 2 hours and consciously follow it, you will see the difference and you are sure on your way to monetizing your skill. Yes, so you're trying to get value so that you can be able to give it in exchange for money. Remember, it is your investment that makes you different and makes you more confident in the digital market and even in the physical market. So thank you so much for um, joining this class. We appreciate your presence. Thank you, everyone. We are so happy to have you, and I hope you enjoy your night rest. Good night, everyone.